Hello, 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 hello. This is Georgina Salgado Chavez, and we're in Gerd Talk and also in YouTube channel. Now, this is Georgina Salgado Chavez, your detox queen and a physician by choice. And we're gonna talk about neurological disorders. I know that a lot of people will go, like, what the heck is that? All right, we're gonna explain it to you, but I wanted to see if you can tie up the toxins with neurological disorders because they have some sort of tie in there. So what I'm going to talk about, what is a neurological disorder in the first place? All right, there are diseases of central and peripheral nervous system. In other words, the brain, spinal cord, cranial nerves, peripheral nerves, nerve roots, autonomic nervous system, neuromuscular junction, and the muscles. What I explain it to my patients is in a different wording because this is like taking it from the explanation, okay? I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do it is explain it like I explain it to my patients, and that's very simple words. Is neurological disorder is the brain and the body is not communicating. Simple as that. They don't communicating because it has some sort of problems. It's not functioning correctly because in the normal terms, it will be the brain and the body connected. Like right now, I'm talking, the brain is doing the whole thing, and my body is responding to what my brain is telling me. So it's the same thing with my speech or with everything, every movement, everything they do, my body is responding to my brain, all right? So that's basically what it is. Now, the conditions that they are named here are linked to toxins. Why? Because they haven't been doing research in certain toxins like mercury, for instance, like lead, like certain toxins that they are very detrimental for the brain. And a lot of the toxins, I don't know, they can store in the brain, and that's when we have in these kind of conditions. Like a lot of radiation goes to the brain, like I mentioned, mercury is another one, and a lot of the stuff that has something to do with mercury. Now, mytoxins, they can cause problems too. For instance, I have a patient years ago. What happened, it was this young guy, like probably 24, 25 years old, I don't remember exactly, but it was not even 25 years old, okay? So one day, they were married with a wife, and they were very young kids. And one day, the wife just told me that he disappeared. What happened, he went to buy some sort of groceries, walking, and he just got lost. He got lost. He was not able to go back to their house. And then he was in the hospital, and he was in different places, and he was not able to tell who was his wife or where he lives because he was not in his place. He was lost completely. Now, after like 2 weeks, his wife find him, and very young girl, and I remember that they took him to like the doctor, they started evaluating, and what they say that they find the eggs of a parasite in the brain. It's very common, the Tenian-Solium parasite. So it's very, very, very common to have this kind of stuff in people, but not many people know what they can do about it. A few years ago, actually, they used to use the egg, eat it, to lose weight. The doctors were doing that, okay? So, which is kind of really stupid because it can bring you so much other issues, so many other issues. So that can be a toxin that causing brain damage, all right? Other one, like I said, mercury. Mercury is very common, and I'm gonna mention mercury a lot because it has something to do with me, not because something else, okay? But it's a lot of chemicals like heavy metals that they can go to your brain, and they store there, and they can do a lot of damage. I know another friend, her husband was in the military, and he was exposed to radiation, and he has half of the brain dead, half of the cells in the brain that were dead. So that's very sad because the guy was only like 32 years old, and he got a lot of problems like pains in the body, and it was in very bad shape. And the girl, she just got like a few years, got married, and they have a little kid. And my friend, she was really devastated because of that, because sometimes they didn't even know what to do, and she can't even go to work like normal people because it was her husband there, the little baby, and they were having a lot of issues like financially, emotionally, and it was very devastated. But anyways, so another Another illness is very related with this. It has to be Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is very popular to link with toxicity, especially with heavy metals, all right? So affect about 6 million people due to die because of the drugs. 80% of these deaths is placed in low and middle income countries. More than 50 million people have epilepsy worldwide. Epilepsy can be another sign of toxins in the brain. And 47.5 million people with dementia, and 7.7 million cases every year. Dementia is another one that's linked to toxicity. So if you have somebody with dementia, maybe you gotta check the toxic overload in their body. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia and may contribute to 60 to 70% of the cases. The prevalence of migraine is more than 10% worldwide. So this is a start way before. I think that I was reading the other day, the Alzheimer's take about 30 years to develop. So you wonder why most people, they get it when they're older. And what I'm gonna tell you, if you have or you've been exposed to a lot of toxins, like for instance mercury. I mean, it's not like you work in a mine or you were like a mercury worker or something. No. If you work in the dentist, for instance, maybe you're exposed to mercury, like a dentist assistant, dentist, anybody that works in the office and stuff like that, they probably can have exposure to the mercury. Because the amalgams, they used to have 50% of the thing, it was mercury, pure mercury. I don't know if you see the containers, but in the containers say avoid it because it can cause you brain, neurological problems and also to breathing issues, okay? Also autoimmune disorders. So where you can get mercury more, like amalgams, if you have amalgams in your life. I used to have that and I removed them a few years ago because I was having a lot of problems with asthma. So I know they have something to do with my symptoms because I used to have other symptoms. It has nothing to do with asthma. Always I used to be cold on my hands and my feet. And my son got an autoimmune disorder. And unfortunately, a lot of these things, they pass from mom to babies. All right? So if you have any of those things, check on it. Now you have a loved one or you wanted to avoid being Alzheimer's, dementia, and all these detrimental diseases, just do a consultation first, see where you're at, see you are prone to it, and then you go ahead and do it or not do it. It is up to you. But you see, you have a decision based on something. Now, I can go ahead and tell you about checkups, but I mean, my son got a checkup 3 days before he got diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, and they didn't even find it. They didn't even have not clue that my son is gonna get sick. My son was healthy 3 days before he present symptoms. So don't trust the checkup because it's not something they're gonna tell you it's gonna be okay as long as you get a checkup. No, because it's not gonna be okay. A lot of the doctors, they're missing a lot of blind spot. What I do when I do a deep consultation, I go over a lot of stuff that most doctors they miss. And you have like an answer and you are fine, hey, you feel better. Next year you do it again and that's it. Then you can go ahead and do something in the earliest stages of any chronic condition. And if you have the earliest stages, you'll be fine and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be thinking about it. But a lot of people, they have family with Alzheimer's, family with things like, diabetes type 2, for instance, or even cancer sometimes, they think that they have to have the disease because the family have, or the parents have this disease. I have a friend that he always say, oh, I'm gonna get diabetes type 2 because my mom and my dad, they have diabetes. And that's inherited. Now, think about the incoherent in it. Mom and dad, they were no family. So it has to be environmental, first of all. The second thing is, he's gonna have it already. But he has the same habits, the same exposure to the same thing because they're always together. So that make a difference because also diabetes type 2 has to do with some of the toxins, okay? So if you have experienced any symptoms or maybe you're scared of having neurological disorder, please get a consultation. I mean, I always do a consultation really in depth. It's very inexpensive though. It's worth it. And then you're gonna have a peace of mind. All right, so until next time, thank you very much, and God bless, and I hope that you have your health in very good shape. And also to remember, if somebody tell you that you're never gonna improve, don't listen to that, because you know one thing, your body is a marvelous machinery, and it's perfect. If you're given the right condition, if you're given the right situation, it will bounce back and it will give you healthy conditions in your body. So never ever listen to anybody to tell you that you're not gonna get better, because you can. And I see it in firsthand with a lot of my patients. So don't ever listen to nobody. Listen to your body and trust God as well, because you know one thing, God gave us this body and He gave it to us for a reason. So until next time, thank you very much. Enjoy your day and stay tuned, because I'm going to give you more information about different aspects of toxicity and detoxification, and some of the stuff that can be helpful for you because it can save your life. All right, literally. All right, until next time, thank you very much. This is Georgina Salgado Chavez, your detox queen, and stay tuned for more. Bye bye.